everyone!
I am Patricia Branzuela Barras.
Today, we will going to explore the rich tapestry of creativity and cultural heritage that defines our nation.
I will discuss the Philippine textile art. And now let's define what is textile art. So textile art refers to artwork that uses fibers, fabrics, and other materials traditionally associated with textile to create pieces of art. And now here are some of the famous Philippine textile art that I'm going to discuss. First is the hablon, saputangan tapestry weave, mabaw tabi, Dibagoboy Nabal, and the Dagmay. And now, let's start with the hablon. Communities are Kiniraya and Hiligaynon. The origin is in Panay Islands. Hablon is a Hiligaynon word for something woven. Comes from the root word habol, which means to weave. It specifies to the hand-woven fabric by Kiniraya and Hiligaynon weavers. So, hablon class, it is a traditional hand-woven textile in the Philippines, specifically originating in Panay Islands. And these islands, located in Visayas region of the Philippines, are the birthplace of hablon. And this island have a rich history of weaving. And hablon is a testament of artistry and skills of indigenous communities. And the communities known for their hablon are the Kiniraya and Hiligaynon people or the weavers. And this group in Panay Islands have long history of weaving traditions. And the hablon is a Hiligaynon word for something woven. Comes from the root word, the habol, which means to weave. Next. I am Patricia Branzuela Barras, and today I will discuss the Philippine textile art. And now let's define what is textile art. So textile art refers to artwork that uses fibers, fabrics, and other materials traditionally associated with textile to create pieces of art. And now here are some of the famous Philippine textile art that I'm going to discuss. First is the hablon, the saputangan tapestry weave, the mabaw tabi, the bagoboy nabal, and the dagmay. And now, let's start with the hablon. Hablon. Hablon is in ang Panayanon myth. 10 datus from Borneo landed on Panay Islands from settlements and ushered in an era of development. And one of the legendary statues was the Tulubay, who is said to introduce the art of weaving textiles. The hablon is usually a plain cloth and has plaid and stripe patterns. It is normally used for the patajong, the Visayan wrap-around skirt, and panuelo. So, hablon class, hablon weaving is typically rooted in Panay's history and mythology. And according to a legend, one of the 10 datus who established settlements in the islands, Datu Lubay, was credited with introducing the weaving in the islands. And this datu or these legends suggest that weaving has been part of Panay's cultural heritage for centuries. And hablon weaving class or the hablon fabrics are characterized by its plain weave, simple patterns, and often featuring plaids and stripes. And this practicality makes it ideal for creating the functional garments like the patajong or the wrap-around skirt and the panuelo. And the simplicity and the use of these natural fibers reflect the traditional weaving practices in the region. And the common patterns are the topo-topo, the pinalang, the Sigarillos, and the Binuskay, and this reflecting the cultural richness and the diversity of the Panay Island. So next, let's proceed to the Saputangan Tapestry Weave. So, Saputangan Tapestry Weave, the community are the Yakan. The origin are in the Basilan and Bungasame and Siniluan. So, the Yakan are the indigenous groups residing in Basilan, an island in the Sulu archipelago of the Philippines. And Basilan is the islands where the Yakan people resides and where the Saputangan tapestry originated. And Yakan weavers are known for their exceptional skills and knowledge of weaving techniques, and they have different distinct types of weaves, each with its own characteristic in terms of techniques, patterns, and purposes. For example is the Bungasame and the Siniluan. So the Bungasame is used for everyday clothing, while the Siniluan is used for ceremonial purposes. So next, I will read the text here. The Bungasame is also weft weave made using pattern sticks or heddles in the loom to produce the pattern. And the second, the wrap floating design characterizes the colorful striped Siniluan. And Saputangan is a square thread best known for its intricate and rich design, involving optical illusion to create depth in the patterns. The Saputangan is an example of a tapestry thread. It is known the oldest and most traditional technique in producing ornamented woven textile, aside from the plain weave technique wherein stripes and plaids are formed. So, the first picture here na nasa taas is an example of the Bungasame. So, as I said a while ago, Bungasame is a type of cloth which is used in everyday living. And Bungasame, this weave uses a technique called the weft weave, where the pattern is created by manipulating the weft threads, or which the threads that run horizontally across the loom using pattern sticks or heddles to create the Bungasame. So, ito po siya, the first picture. And next, the second picture is an example of the Siniluan. And this type of weave features a distinctive warp floating design, where the warp thread or the threads that run vertically across the loom are manipulated to create a colorful stripes. And this picture, yung nasa baba, yung pangatlo ay example of the Saputangan. So now, we're taking a closer to look at one of the colorful and highly prized items of clothing among the Yakan people, the Saputangan. So, the Saputangan is a square shaped cloth famed for its complex and visually rich design. And the weavers of the Saputangan use a technique that creates an optical illusion and making the patterns to appear to have the depth and dimension. And Saputangan is also an example of the tapestry weave. This technique involves the interlacing colorful thread to create intricate patterns or designs on the fabric. And this textile or the Saputangan is considered as one of the oldest and most traditional technique used to create the ornamented textile, alongside the simpler weave or the simpler plain weave technique, which is primarily used to create stripes and blades. And dito po sa Saputangan Tapes 3 is at the very center, as you can see in this picture, of the saputangan is the principal motif. It can be flowers or star shape inside a small diamond shape. And this motif is repeated and elaborated within or in various geometric shape such as the squares, zigzag forms, and parallelograms and triangles within a bigger diamond shape spaces. And yung mga motif like the flowers and the star shape is yung flower. It symbolizes hope, abundant harvest, and guidance, while the small star symbolizes beauty, fertility, love, and their spiritual connections. And next, let's proceed to the Mabal Tabi. So, Mabal Tabi, the community, Blaan, origin, the Sarangani and South Cotabato, Tabi in Blaan, known to the native tabular skirt and the textile, while Mabal means woven or to weave. The Blaan threads, the Tabi using abaca fibers, and the backstrap loom. The threads are dyed using the warp tie-dye resist ikat method and natural dyes from endemic plants. Designs usually illustrates crocodile and tiny curls. So, the Mabal Tabi class is a traditional hand-woven textile created by the Blaan people. And Blaan people are indigenous communities or indigenous group residing in Sarangani and South Cotabato provinces in the Philippines. And the Mabal is the Blaan term for the abaca weaving process, or which means to weave. While the tabi is refers to finished hand-woven fabric or hand-woven cloth. And tabi is usually used for tabular skirt for Blaan women, which it refers to the traditional skirt for Blaan women. And this skirt is usually made from a single piece of woven fabric forming a long tube that is wrapped on the waist and secured by a belt. And sometimes a formal pants for Blaan men. And it is highly valued and culturally significant pieces of clothing often worn during special occasions, weddings, and festivals. So next, the abaca fibers, the first picture dito sa baba. And abaca fibers, the Blaan weavers use these abaca fibers because abaca, known for their strength and durability in weaving, that is suitable in weaving the Mabal Tabi. And weavers in Sarangani and South Cotabato use the backstrap loom. Ito po siya yung second picture. The backstrap loom naman po is ginagamit para ma-weave yung Mabal Tabi. Ito yung common loom na ginagamit nila para ma-weave yung Mabal Tabi. And the backstrap loom has a strap that is worn across the weaver's back. So, ginagamitan lang siya ng kamay para gamitin sa pag-weave ng Mabal Tabi. And the third picture are the common motifs found in Mabal Tabi. And this picture or fabric are called the crocodiles and tiny curls. So, ito po siya yung picture o yung design. And the crocodile design represent the strength and power. And the The tiny curls symbolizes the fertility and life for Blaan people in Sarangani and South Cotabato. The class is more than just a piece of clothing for Blaan weavers because it represents the Blaan people rich cultural heritage and their connection to the nature and their artistic traditions. And next, Bagobo Inabal, they use the backstrap loom for weaving Inabal abaca fibers textile with ikat or tie-dyed resist designs forming mother and baby crocodile figures in geometricized abstract. So here in weaving the Bagobo Inabal, weavers use the backstrap loom. And ito po yung picture ng backstrap loom naman na ginagamit nila. And backstrap loom has a strap that is worn across the weaver's back. And ginagamitan lang po siya ng kamay sa pagwiweave ng Bagobo Inabal. And abaca fibers or textile is the weavers use also the ikat or tie-dyed resist, which is the dyeing technique para sa mga fabric. So, tinatalian din nila yung mga thread bago ito itubog o kulayan para yung may mga tali na thread is mananatili sa natural nitong kulay while the other thread na walang tali is magkakaroon ng kulay. So, it will form the patterns and designs and strive for the finished product. And common designs na pinoform nila ay yung mother and baby crocodile figures. And mother and baby crocodile figures is the depiction of mother and baby crocodiles often in geometricized and abstraction forms. And these figures symbolizes strength, protections, and fertility for the Bagobo Inabal finished fabric. And next, Bagobo Inabal, they use beeswax, which is used to bitter during the weaving process, adds to the sheen during the finishing procedures, and the Bagobo textile is commonly used for creating the native tabular skirt, of which there are two types, which are the sinukla and the bandira. So here in weaving the Bagobo Inabal, weavers use the beeswax. So ito po siya, example ng beeswax, yung picture. So they use it to the bitter during the weaving process. So, during ng weaving process, is gumagamit sila ng beeswax para yung mga thread or sinulid is manatiling nakakapit dun sa wini-weave nilang Bagobo Inabal. So, yung beeswax it is a tool used to compact the woven thread. So, para nga mas kumapit yung mga mas mahigpit na kumapit yung mga thread na wini-weave nila. And during naman ng finishing procedure is yung beeswax is nagdadagdag siya sa pinaka magandang kalalabasan ng Bagobo Inabal kasi nga nagbibigay ito ng kintab dun sa thread na wini-weave nila. So, yung beeswax, hindi lang ginagamit para mas mapanatili yung pagkapit ng mga thread, kundi nagbibigay daw ito ng kintab dun sa magiging finished product. And the Bagobo Inabal is primarily used to create the traditional skirt or the tabular skirt, which is worn by the woman. And the tabular skirt have two types, which are the sinukla and the bandira. Yung sinukla, this is the shorter skirt, often worn for everyday activities, while the bandira is a longer skirt, which is typically worn for special occasions and ceremonies. And the inabal is a symbol of the Bagobo Manobo's rich cultural heritage and their artistic skills. And it is a testament to their deep connections to natures and their mastery of traditional weaving techniques and their unique aesthetic sensibilities. And in overall, the Bagobo Inabal is a beautiful and culturally significant textile that reflects the Bagobo Manobos' rich heritage and their expertise in weaving. And it is their testament to their artistry, skills, and their connection to the natural world and their enduring cultural traditions. And next, let's proceed to the Dagmay. So, Dagmay, the community, Mandaya, the origin, Eastern Mindanao, and the Mandaya, which can be formed in the provinces of Davao Oriental, Davao del Norte, Compostela Valley, Surigao del Sur, and Agusan del Sur, have a strong weaving tradition as seen in their coarsely textured dagmay, hand-woven using a special kind of backstrap loom produced from abaca fibers and following elaborate designs revolving around man and nature, especially the crocodile. So, here in weaving the dagmay, ang mga weavers nito ay yung mga Mandaya, which are the indigenous groups residing in eastern Mindanao and in the provinces of Davao Oriental, Davao del Norte, Compostela Valley, Surigao del Sur, and in the Agusan del Sur. And they have strong and vibrant cultural heritage, including distinguished traditions of weaving. And the dagmay is known for its coarse texture, which is a result of the unique weaving technique and the type of the fibers that they use. So here in coarse texture, tinawagin nila tong coarse texture kasi nga ito yung mga uri ng texture na magaras or yung magaspang. So, yung mga dagmay is characteristic nito is mga magagaspang na textile. And the Mandaya weavers use a type of backstrap loom to weave the dagmay. And this loom is portable and operated by hand, which with a strap that is worn across the weaver's back. And the dagmay is woven using abaca fibers harvested from the abaca plant, and the fibers are known for their strength and durability, making them suitable for creating sturdy fabric. And dagmay features intricate designs that often revolve around themes of man and nature, and particularly the crocodile. And this crocodile is a significant symbol of Mandaya culture, representing strengths, powers, and protections. And next, Dagmay patterns usually tell the story about the weavers and her community and the spirit that live on earth. The dagmay is traditionally used for women's skirt, but it is also used as blanket uh, for the dead. So here in dagmay textile, the patterns woven into the dagmay often tells stories about the weavers and the community and the spirits that are believed to inhabit the earth. And each motif holds a specific meaning and significance in Mandaya culture. And the dagmay is traditionally used to create the woman's skirt, and these skirt are often worn during the ceremonies and special occasions. And also, the dagmay is used as blanket or wraps for the dead body that highlights the textile significance in the Mandaya spiritual tradition. So, yung dagmay is hindi lang siya kine-create para makagawa ng mga skirt or the traditional skirt, but also it used as blanket para sa mga katawan na mga binabalot nila doon sa namatay na katawan ng tao. And the dagmay is a testament to the Mandaya's people artistic skills, dedication to their cultural heritage, and connection to the natural world. And it is a beautiful example of how indigenous communities use their traditional weaving techniques to create textile that are both functional and imbued with deep cultural meaning. And in overall, dagmay is a significant part of the Mandaya cultural identity. It represents their heritage, their connection to the land, and their artistic traditions. And it is a powerful symbol of their resilience and the enduring nature of their culture. And that's all for today. Thank you.